Good morning. Today is Monday, November 20th. It's my sister-in-law, Diane's birthday. Happy birthday, Diane. She doesn't watch me. It's very early. It's 25 degrees. It's kind of cold. I'm in the backyard here because Jim's in the garage with my brother-in-law, Ron, butchering his deer. He got a deer Friday, but he came home yesterday. So some poor hunter's going to get home and going to be very upset because Jim said as he was driving home there was like this really long backup. He said about 15 miles, and when he got up to the point where it was the backup was, it was because somebody's deer must have fallen off their car or the back of their truck and they might not have known about it, because he said it took him about half an hour to go 15 miles, and the deer was just laying on the side of the road. You could tell obviously that it wasn't a deer that was live and got hit. It was a deer that was already dead. So can you imagine the poor guy's fake, or woman, either one, but when they get home and they get out of the car and they're all proud because they got this nice deer in the back that they're going to have their meat for the winter, and no deer. So they're going to go, oh dear. Sorry about that. That was a bad joke. It's early. I got up early. Jim's got up early to start doing his deer because Ron's got to go to work, and you got to work around Ron's schedule because he doesn't charge him to do it, so you can't beat the price. You can always take a nap. I have to be careful when I walk because we did have some snow and freezing rain last night, so there are going to be patches of ice, so I'm going to do a lot of like walking looking down rather than looking around at my surroundings because I don't want to land up on my butt. And this is about the time of year that I had the first frost and the first ice on the ground, and I thought I wasn't going to walk because I didn't want to fall, but I'm going to make some smart choices as I'm walking, and I'm going to carry on, as they say. I had an excellent weekend. I'm so proud of myself. I really am. I stayed on track on Saturday. I showed you everything I did on Saturday, and then on Sunday I had my usual berry breakfast, and I didn't eat a lunch though. But for dinner I had the other half of the sandwich that I didn't eat the day before, and 3 pretzel rods, and a quarter cup of cashews. And I had a glass, well, I was bad because I had a glass of lemonade, which was a lot of points. I think it was 13 or 14 points for 16 ounces of lemonade, but it was so worth it. So I used my weeklies, and I still have 34 weeklies, so I had to use 8 of my weeklies over the weekend, which was so much better than I normally use my whole 42 and then some. And then I spend the whole week playing catch up. And I have Thanksgiving this weekend. I can't afford to be being bad on the weekend. So I know it can be done. But with that being said, I would like to tell you that I struggle just as much as everybody else. I put on this happy face, and you see how happy and chipper I am, and you know how much I appear to be like all... And you know, I have my struggles just like everybody else. I want to stop doing this, but you know, it's not hard to stay on Weight Watchers because it gives you all of the choices that you can do. You just figure it into your points. It's just a matter of I have to fight off the evil Sandy that keeps coming out, making me make bad choices. I can still have a donut, I can still have a slice of cake, I can still have all of that stuff. I just have to figure it in. I can't just figure out that if I'm going to have a piece of cake today, that means that the whole day is blown and I can have whatever I want for the whole day. I know I can't do that anymore. But sometimes, and I'm honest, being honest with you, I want to go back to the old way. It's so much easier going to the fast food restaurants and getting some food. And unfortunately, it still tastes good to me. It's, you know, I don't like the effects the next day, because the next day I feel it, but while I'm eating it I like it. And I have to get out of that frame of mind, and so I do struggle every day, and I do start my day with a prayer asking God to help me get through the day. You know, it's not easy sometimes, it really isn't, but I always think that if somebody came and gave me a magic wand and they tapped it on my head and I said I could have any wish I wanted weight related, if I was to wish that I could go be a certain weight, you know, like I'd love to be back to like 150 pounds. Just to say, you know, tap me on the head and say, okay, now Sandy, you weigh 150 pounds. If I haven't learned how to eat right, and I haven't struggled for years, because unless you have just a small amount of weight, if you have a large amount of weight, it's going to take years. You just can't think that it's going to be done in a month or two. It's going to be a commitment, and it's a lifelong commitment at that. And I wouldn't have learned how the right way to eat. They would have gave me 150 pounds, and I would have thought, oh, okay, great, that's really good. I'm really happy. Now I'm going to stay this weight. No, because I'd still be eating the same way. I'd still be making the bad choices, and I'd still be getting bigger and bigger. And I have proof of that. I have all my life been obsessed with my weight, and I've kept track of my weight all of my life. And I always got every year one of these Hallmark calendars, and I would mark down how much I weighed each week. And I would put like different things that I have to do. But the lowest I can remember being in the longest time was on March 28th, which happened to be Denise's birthday. I weighed 251 and a half. I don't know if you can see that. And that's what I weighed this past Saturday. I weighed 251.3. So I haven't weighed that since March 28th, 2005, which was more than 12 years ago, almost 13 years ago. But you know, you get comfortable, you really do, because then the following week I lost again. So on April 4th, which was my nephew Bradley's birthday, lots of birthdays in my family, I was down to 248. I was in the 40s, and I thought, oh my gosh, I'm on my way. I'm free sailing. I know what the problem was. I know how to do this. I know it all. So I cut my weight every week. I steadily went up and then up and then up. And so then on January 1st, who doesn't start a diet on January 1st? I got on the scale and recorded my weight of 278. I gained 30 pounds in 9 months. So it just shows that it's, unless you're always keeping track, always being aware of what you're doing, it's easy to put on. I had my knee surgery in 2007. In November of 2007, I had my other knee done in December of 2008. And it was one of the best decisions I made. I still struggled with my weight. I still stayed right between 280 and 300 until last year, 304 and a half. I thought I could do it on my own, but I realized now I needed Weight Watchers. So we all struggle. That's all I can say is we all struggle. So I'm going to go for my walk now. I'm going to be diligent about my walking. And I also wanted to tell you that I found out that who sent me the shirt was Weight Watchers with Carrie. Thank you, Carrie. I love it. She said that they were supposed to put a card inside, but obviously they didn't. And I really appreciate it. And another thing I appreciate is when you point out my mistakes. I write in my journal and I show you because you keep me honest, and I do not get offended. So if you see I've made a mistake on something, whether I'm figuring something out as the wrong points, or I'm adding wrong, or I just write something down wrong, I have very thick skin. It goes with this big body. Let me know. I really, you know, unless you're going to be downright mean, you know, nobody wants somebody to be downright mean, but you can be helpfully critical, I guess is the, you know, setting me off in the right direction, and I'll like that. I really will. I want you to do that. So okay, we've talked long enough. Let's go for our walk. Okay, here's my brother-in-law Ron, hard at work, butchering. Aren't you going to look at the camera, Ron? There he is. He's trying to hide. Jim said he didn't want to be on it. I don't know why.
The world knows enough what I do. Yeah.
If anybody lives in the Detroit area and you need a butcher at hunting season, let me know down in the comments below, because Ron is an excellent butcher. And he's a pretty reasonable priced guy, I guess. Okay, I'm back. That was invigorating, to say the least. It was cold, but every once in a while the sun came out. And the sun's out right now. I don't know if you can see it. There's the sun. I did see one walker. She should have been a runner, but I think she's probably walking her beginning, and then she was going to run because she didn't look like a walker. She looked like a runner. And it's cold, but you know, I got my 2 miles in. So now I already drank my 16 ounces of water, and now I'm going to go in and drink my other 32, or 34 rather, and get on with my day, staying on track. So I'll see you at breakfast. Of course, I'm always doing laundry. That's the noise you hear in the background, but here's my breakfast. And once again, I'm going to stay on track. I am going to try to get my 3 meals in today. So I started my day with a prayer, I drank 52 ounces of water so far. I have walked 7,116 steps. I've been very busy today. And my quote is, I will fight for it, I will not give up, and I will reach my goal. Nothing will stop me. It's going to take a while, but I'm going to get there. 34 smart points, 2 for my egg, 4 for my half a cup of oatmeal, 1 for my quarter cup of 2% milk, and 0 for my berries, banana, grapefruit tea, and water. It's a 7-point breakfast. I still have 27 points left for the day. Okay, I'm going to have a slice of pizza, homemade pizza, and some lemonade and water. And the lemonade, I'll warn you ahead of time, is very, very high in points. I have 27 smart points. It's 5 for the 1 piece of flatbread. 6 for 1 for the 6 pepperonis. They're turkey pepperonis. 2 for the quarter cup of mozzarella cheese, and 13 points for just 8 ounces or 16. You know what? I think I measured that wrong, because that's a 16-ounce glass, and I think 8 ounces is in a cup. Correct me if I'm wrong. That's just a cup. Oh, I saved some points because I used a measuring cup. Okay, that makes me feel better. That's just 8 ounces, so it's only 6 points. So instead of a 22-point lunch, it'll be a 16-point lunch. Let's fix that right away. I just kind of wanted something kind of sweet. And 6, 8, 9, 10, 15. So it's only 15. So it means I have 12 left for my dinner, which I'm still going to go a little bit over, but I really wanted something sweet, and I didn't want to go crazy with candy or a cookie, so I had the lemonade in the refrigerator, so I chose the lemonade. And I still have 34 smart points for the week, so I think for my dinner I'm going to use some of them. I think I'm planning on having tacos for dinner. So that's my lunch. Okay, I rechecked my measuring cup, and it really was only 8 ounces. So it was 6 points for the lemonade, but let me tell you, it was worth every point. I needed something sweet, and it just satisfied my craving, and now I'm all set. Another tip is I toasted the flatbread first before I baked it in the oven. I did it 400 degrees for 7 minutes, and it made it for a crunchier crust. I like a crunchy crust, so it was really good. So I'm very content. And for dinner, I think I'm going to have tacos. I know I'm going to go into my weeklies, but that's what they're there for. Okay, I'm going to have my 2 burritos and some refried beans and a glass of iced tea. I had 12 points, and my dinner comes to 25. I have a heavy dinner today. 0 for tomatoes and taco sauce, 2 for my quarter cup of black olives, 7 for my 2 tortilla shells, 5 for the 3/4 cups of refried beans, 4 for my 1 ounce of cheese, 3 for my 2 tablespoons of sour cream, and 4 for my 3 ounces of ground sirloin. It's a 25-point dinner. So I used 13 of my weeklies, but I still have 21 left. I know I ate a lot today, but I was hungry. Well, I know I ate a lot today, but I was hungry for some reason. I don't know why, but I really was hungry. So I have to do better tomorrow. And I'm still within my points and my weekly points. So I mean, I went over my daily points, but I'm still within my weeklies. So I just got to make some better choices tomorrow, that's for sure. So I'll see you guys in the morning.